Yo, what's up? We are now outside my home, and behind me here you see MC Hammer. This is a 2019 Tesla Model 3 Performance, and in this trip I'm going to drive from Oslo to Alvdal, Folldal. It's going to be pretty cold, and then back again. And the reason why I do it with this car is because this is the old one without the heat pump. I've done it already with the heat pump. I've done it with lots of cars, so it becomes like the ultimate cold weather test. So yes, MC Hammer has been charged to 100%, and we have almost 300 kilometers to drive from here to Alvdal. So the car claims I can make it. I don't think so. I actually have 8% degradation on this battery, but at least the battery has been heated up, the cabin has been heated up. And as a small modification, okay, I have the LED bar here, which might suck a little bit of extra power. These wheels might not be the most efficient ones, but as a compensation, I have blocked the side windows here, but not the back one. Let me just show you inside. And also I have this one here to give extra comfort. So the rear window here is still open, so this is still legal, yeah. But also a small, this is also a trick you guys seen. It's not panel gap, it's a trick to keep the heater running. Instead of, if you do stuff like this, the heater will shut off. But if you just do it like this until it says click there, then most of the door is closed, but you will keep the car running. And this is a nice hack to keep the heater running. But I also have a little sneak peek. I have sold MC Hammer. Yes, I will make a video about it. I need to explain further what's going on, but MC Hammer will be handed over in about 12 days from now, from the recording here. So yes, I'm gonna miss him. MC Hammer, he still kicks ass for the Lord. That's what we're gonna see in this trip, hopefully. So MC Hammer is just too legit to quit. Well, okay, let's get going. We are now near Koppang. Well, this is called Trønnes, and I think we have to bail out. We have 11% left, or actually 11.9, and we have driven 222 kilometers, so there is no way we can get over to Alvdal from here. We have another 75 kilometers to go, so the consumption throughout the whole trip here has been quite high, 260 watt-hour per kilometer. But it is colder today than it was during the run with the other Model 3 with heat pumps. So just keep that in mind. It was at least, let's say, 3 to 5 degrees Celsius colder today. But okay, so we're gonna charge up now at Shell Koppang. Stats so far, you can see it here. Battery though is nice and warm, 20 degrees. This is the nature of the classic Model 3. Yeah, it's kind of funny, right? 2-year-old Model 3. I call it the classic. We are now juicing up at Shell Koppang. I noticed that during the trip, this one was on. It was like semi-grayed out, so I don't know why it detected anything behind here. I don't really have anything here, so that's weird. Yeah. So maybe that sucked a little bit of extra power, I'm not sure. But all right, so now I have it on manual. You see, I have recirculation. I tried the same trick like the Leaf, but then for some reason on Tesla, I've noticed it before, is that as soon as you put on recirculation, the windows fog like crazy. This could be potential dangerous if you try to use this while you're driving. But then some people say that you can use recirculation and then use AC. Maybe you crank up a little bit more. And that should actually still be more efficient than using automatic. So we can kind of see it here maybe that we have we're getting 34 kilowatt. So if we do something like this, auto. Okay, now we just activated it, so it has to pull some massive power, but well, maybe it doesn't make that much of a difference. Yeah, I mean, maybe on a Leaf you kind of need to save as much as possible, but on this car maybe it doesn't matter too much. At least now we are clearing up the windows again. But one small disadvantage when we are not charging on supercharger is that if we were at the supercharger, we could keep climate on even with 1%, because the car knows that we are at the supercharger, fast charger, and then it will allow you to keep the car nice and warm while you're at the gas station. But here you can't do it unless you're on a supercharger. It's kind of weird because the car senses that. I mean, the car obviously knows that we are at the DC fast charger, so why not allow the keep climate on and the dog mode and the camp mode? Well, maybe we can get a feature, but it shouldn't take too long anyway to reach 20%. And yeah, we still need to charge a little bit. Wow, that's actually quite a lot. Okay, anyway, so then we can just use this trick. Just don't close it completely, just like this, and we still don't lose too much heat here because it is minus 21 degrees out here. Cold. It's really proper cold right now. And this one, well, is it working now? It's been kaput for a long time. It seems to be working. That's great. 2 fast chargers, only 50 kilowatts. So far so good. No problems at all. Driving here, very little traffic. So this we have a Teslabjorn Crew, which is a restaurant. Actually, I'm not sure if it's open. Yeah, it should be open. Yeah. And then we have the gas station here, Shell, and this is also a very common truck stop. So we have lots of trucks idling here. So, all right, I'm gonna go inside and get something to eat, I guess. And then, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with MC Hammer. Now I think we could just lock him down for just a couple of minutes, no big deal. Yeah. All right, I bought some food that I will consume later, but and then there's another complaint I have with the Model 3, the way it has been designed, which is that, you see, I calculate now, check by the route planner, we need about 30%. So I will charge it 35%, so it shouldn't take that long to reach 35%. But the problem with Model 3 is that by default, it will run the battery heater. See, it's now trying to heat up the battery because the car doesn't know really how far I need to charge. For all we know, we might want to charge to 90% or 80%. And then if you don't heat up the battery, it will eventually charge slower. But we only need to top up for, I don't know, not too long. So for me, it's actually a waste of energy to heat up the battery, because we would have been able to, if these two stators didn't run, we would get 40 kilowatt and then we would finish to 35% faster. So it's like waste of energy, basically. It's waste of energy, because what usually happens is that we heat up the battery now that we charge, and then after we start driving, let's say if this one reaches 40 degrees, then the car wastes energy cooling down the battery. Now this is slightly better in the newer cars with heat pump, because then at least once we start driving, it will scavenge heat from the battery and then the consumption will be lower. But for the old ones, there should be an update to fix this somehow. But then you have to be some kind of advanced user to be able to force the car to switch off the battery heater. Battery heater. But okay, well, maybe Tesla will do something about this. We'll see. All right, we're done charging. Wow, it took 30 minutes. But a pro tip here is that, you know, I calculated I need 27% to get there, and then I added another 8% of margin. But at Fortum here, you pay, well, I mean, it's called recharge now, but you pay per minute. It's 3.1 NOK per minute, and they count once you start the minute. So what you actually should do, just to get the most juice to the money, is to cancel it and stop it right before it starts the next minute. But if you start it right after the minute I started, you pay for the whole minute. You know, it's all about squeezing out. Okay, wait a minute, let me get ready here. So we want to stop and then show this one. You don't want to be too slow. There. Let me see. Let me check here. Yeah, you see? Okay, now the question is, how close do you want to go? Okay, let's go. We are now at the supercharger in Alvdal. Oh, and we're getting pretty good charging speed here, 136 kilowatt. Yeah, not too shabby. And you see here, 301.5. It's supposed to be 295. And then we had, okay, let's say 500 meter detour to Koppang. But if you take 301 versus 295, you figure out that this car overports distance by 2%. And that means that the real consumption is 262 watt-hour per kilometer. That is all-time high. It is way higher than the other Model 3 with heat pump, and also with versus even E-Nero, which is bigger and bulkier. Well, I blame the HVAC system, the PTC heater, and I guess the foot burner. Yeah, the footwell is fairly hot at some time, but I figured out that one workaround, I heard someone say it, is that what you can do is you can activate this one, which activates the rear vent here, and it also tends to then run the fan speed at higher. Right now we are stationary, but usually I notice that when we are driving, it will run it at fan speed 5 at most times. But that seems to, okay, then this one, but that seems to actually reduce the amount of heat in the footwell. So maybe you guys can try it out and see if it helps for you. Okay, anyway, so now, ooh, look at that, 138 kilowatt, charging like a boss. Anyway, time for some late dinner, which is bread. Yes, this is from Shell, Koppang. Yeah, what's this one? Ooh, roast beef. Okay, we've been charging for less than 10 minutes, and I had to stop charging because we're gonna do the test now, which is to drive to the intersection towards Tynset and then back again and measure the consumption. So we have to prepare for some really high numbers here. But, oh, I forgot to also mention that, you know, on the way to Alvdal, why did I stop at Koppang? Well, I wanted to see how far we could drive, really. But on normal conditions, when I'm not testing anything, I would, of course, stop at Elverum, because we stopped and charged for half an hour at Koppang. There's Koppang. At only 35 kilowatt, but at least over here in Elverum we will get at least 70 to 100 kilowatt. Maybe not 100, but at least 70 kilowatt. So 15 minute top up there would have been better than half an hour at Koppang. But just so you guys know, it's just to test how far this car can go in winter, that's it. But okay, let's get ready then. All Alright, we're on the move, and as usual, we'll be cruising at 90 on the speedo, which is about 87 or something real speed. So it's not that cold today versus the other test. It was usually around 22 to minus 22 to minus 25 degrees on the other test, so just bear that in mind. But okay, but MC Hammer has the LED bar. This is Laser Elite 18. So you guys ready for it? Boom! Damn, that's why the consumption is so high. No, I'm just kidding. No, actually, the LED bar pulls 128 watts. So actually 126 watts. And if you cruise at around 80 kilometers per hour, then that means 1.5 watt hour per kilometer. So it's not really the LED bar. But again, maybe the LED bar spoils the aerodynamics a little bit, and that kind of increases drag. I'm not sure really, but man, just the amount of light is just so nice. We are now getting close to the turnaround point, and wow, over here it is minus 24 degrees. So, well, all right. That means that this test is approved then, or should we say legit? Okay, let's turn around. But wow, ooh, look at that consumption. 245. All right, let's see. Okay, we just turn around, and just to show you, minus 25 degrees. Oh, proper cold. And then always fun to do. Boom. Yeah, what? Car coming. All right, we're back at the supercharger, and the consumption was 233, corrected 238. So it is lower than Leaf and E-Nero, and actually ID3 also. But of course can't match the heat pump version of Model 3. So, all right. Okay, now I'm gonna eat the rest. I only had time for one slice of bread on the previous charging station. MC Hammer charges so fast. Okay, this is brown, sweaty brown cheese. We have been charging for about half an hour now, and we are good to go. Yeah, it goes kind of slow now. So yeah, let me unplug and show you what the plan is. So the plan is that we're going to drive to UK Folldal, and we will camp in Folldal for the night, and we will also measure how much energy we spend. We are now at the UK Folldal. Over here it's only minus 21, but close enough. So the consumption corrected is 273 watt hour per kilometer. So that is actually slightly worse than Leaf even. Wow, yes, I guess the lack of heat pump, but I guess the Leaf wasn't really using the heat pump that much. Okay, so, and again the Model 3 with heat pump was superb as usual. So now you're just gonna charge up a little bit. Yeah, the last thing I do usually is to prepare the bed while I'm topping up, because I don't know how much juice I need during the night. But okay, let me show you outside. Ooh, yes, the noisy tritium charger as usual. And I just put my drinks outside here to cool them down. So wow, MC Hammer is getting dirty. So today we don't have moonlight, we don't have clear sky. Well, actually it's partly cloudy. So I'm not sure how the time lapse will be. I guess I'll give it a shot. So as usual, not too much wind around here. But okay, let's get ready. We are now at the camping spot as usual. So I just reset the trip now, so you see it start counting stationary here. Right, I also checked the battery is at 31.8 degrees. This car doesn't scavenge the heat in the battery, so we don't get any use of it. But eventually though, the battery will cool down to a point where it starts heat. It needs to spend energy heating it up, so we will see how that goes. Yeah. All right, so I need to put on the sunshades now. Just gonna show you. And you kind of, okay, it just went dark. You see, it's so different now, because today when we don't have sun, I mean, wow, you don't see anything at all, really. Okay, it's just pitch dark. You see the car slightly, that's it. Wow, so big difference when you have moonlight and you don't have moonlight. Oh man, it's too cloudy outside. It's pointless to make any time lapse today. But anyway, mandatory snack. Yeah, this is solbærtoddy and buns and StarCraft 2.
Oh, it's through actually for, okay. Well, Zara's gonna have a bad time. Hot girl double expanding. I don't know if I don't know if it's a he or she. I don't know if hot girl realizes that the green can access from here, but we will see.
We'll be camping here for 1 hour, and this one shows that the average power so far has been 2.5 kilowatt. That's not too bad. You see, right now we are pulling less than 2 kilowatt because the car is constantly switching between, well, I can't see it right now, I'm watching the game, but it's switching between recirculation on and off, and that actually saves the inefficiency of the lack of heat pump. So it's actually surprisingly okay consumption here. But okay, so we're just gonna wait it out more. We have been camping for 1.5 hours now. So the battery temperature is slowly dropping, not too crazy because yeah, we're not scavenging it. I think the outside temperature is more than -19, I mean lower than, I think it's around -21. But based on the kilowatt hour we spend now, we are only averaging 2.4 kilowatt on average. That is way lower than I expected. It's actually way better than ID3. So I wonder, okay, I'm watching some video here. But you know, this car, let me turn on the lights here. This car has some aftermarket soundproofing. There are some sound dampening materials in the doors, front and the rear door, and also the trunk. Maybe that could help on also insulating against cold, because I get the impression that the e-tron, I haven't tried it yet, but it seems like the e-tron was also doing pretty good against extreme cold weather. Anyway, it's getting pretty late. I should get some sleep. We still have a long day tomorrow, so yeah, nice and comfy in the back of the Tesla. So good night.